In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use the app Pear Deck. Pear Deck is a web-based app that allows you to make your presentations interactive. To get started, you want to open Google Slides. Once you are in Google Slides, you want to go up to where it says Add-ons. And as you can see on mine, I already have Pear Deck installed, but I'm still going to walk you through this and show you how to add it if you don't have it already. You want to go ahead and click on Get Add-ons. And it's usually one of the first things that pops up that you see. Otherwise, if you don't see it there, you just come up here to where it says search apps and start typing in Pear Deck. And once you search it, it should pop up there. So you go ahead and click on it. And then this install, you would go ahead and install it. And once you do, you should see it show up under your add-ons. All right, to go ahead and access Pear Deck, you want to go back up to your add-ons. You go to Pear Deck for Google Slides add-on, and then open Pear Deck. So everything you do through Pear Deck is going to be done through this menu over here on the right-hand side. In this presentation itself, I kind of pre-made some slides, but you could apply this to any Google Slides that you have already created. So as you see, when we open up the Pear Deck menu over here on the right-hand side, there's a lot that you could do with this. They have their own template library. So as I start showing you through this, you can start building some of your lessons from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on the beginning of the lesson slides just to kind of show you what is in there and what is available. There are text slides. There are drawing slides. This one tells you to draw or type two things that you already know about the topic. There's draggables, so you could ask a question, the kids would drag what their response is. For during the lesson, there are things like multiple choice slides, more draggables, more drawing slides, and so on. And then again, for your end of the lesson, there's some drawing slides that you could use for exit tickets, reflections, drawing slides, have them circle about how they felt about the lesson or how they felt about navigating all of the material. There are also slides that you can insert that will help build students' critical thinking skills and social emotional learning. There are slides in here that you can pop in, midway through your presentation, asking about how they're feeling. This would be a chance for them to say, hey, everything is good right now. I'm really following along. You can go ahead and keep going, or give them a chance to say, we can slow this up a little bit. You're going a little bit too fast, or, just stop altogether. We really need time to cover this specific portion of the material. And then finally, as we keep going down, there are specific subject areas that they have pre-made slides for. As you can see, you have math, science, social studies, world languages, and ELA, even grades K through 2. So as an example, just to show you what some of these look like, I'm just going to click on the science one. As you can see in here, there's some interactive slides that you can use that you can draw on the periodic table. Here's one that has you draw the atom of the specific element that they have listed. They ask you to describe what's going on in this image using a text box and so on. So there's a lot of these things that are already content-based created for you to use. So we're back to our main menu here. And as we start going down, you can start asking students the questions. You can insert your own text questions, multiple choice, numbers. You can have them visit websites within the presentation, create your own draggables, and create your own drawings. You can also add audio to slides. So if you click on add audio to slide, you can either upload it from your computer or you can record it right to the slide. So similar to what we've seen in PowerPoint, you can record yourself reading the slide. You can record your own audio notes, anything that you want, any sort of audio that you want on your slide, you can use this feature. So once you have your slides already built and you want to get the class going with it, you would come up here to where it says Start Lesson. You'll have your choice to make either your presentation student-paced or instructor-paced. Student-paced would mean that the students are doing it on their own time, they're not live in front of the instructor, or you can choose the instructor-paced activity, which it is in real time, you're in a class together, they're following along with your slides. Either way, doesn't matter which option you picked, you can always change it later. So I'm gonna go ahead and select the instructor-paced. As you can see, once I've clicked on that, it's going to open this up in a new window. And this is where you can have your students join the presentation. So they get a code. They could go to joinpd.com and type in this code. But there's a couple of easier ways to get it to your students. You can invite your classes through Google Classroom. All you have to do is click on Invite Class. A new window will pop up. You just click on the class that you want to invite and then invite this section. And then the students will be notified and they would just have to click on a link to get into the presentation. Otherwise, you can click on Give Students a link. A link is copied to the clipboard that you can then email out if you would like to. So in this sample right here, I'm actually going to go ahead and paste this link in here. And when I do, this is actually going to show this from the student view. So in this one, my presentation session, you're going to see this is going to be the teacher view. And in this other section right here, this is going to be the student view. So as you can see, as I go back to my teacher view, I can start the class now because it says it has one student connected. This student is going to be myself. So you want to go ahead and click on Start Class. And when you do that, you get the slides that you created. You can start filtering through the slides as you need to. And back when we first created this presentation, it could be a student-paced one or a teacher-paced one. And to change that while you're in this, all you have to go do is go down to these three dots here at the bottom. When you click on that, you're going to get this menu that popped up. So now we can switch it over to student-paced. So you're going to get this little prompt that comes up saying that they're going to be navigating through the slides in a student-paced mode and it won't affect the projector or what the students see. So you can just go ahead and click OK, got it. And then I'm going to move over to the student session. So logging in as a student, this is what they're going to see. They don't have to, choose how they're feeling. They can skip it, but I'm going to go ahead and just pick one. Now, as we go ahead and log in, this brings us to the first slide. So basically, it's going to ask us, how was the homework assignment last night? I can start clicking and dragging the dot where I want my response to be. If they didn't like it, they would just drag it over to the thumbs up, but this is it. This is the interactive part of the slide. They just click and drag for this one, what their response is. I'm going to go down here to the arrows. I'm going to go ahead and click on to the next one. So the slide would have asked a question if the statement was true and false. This is where they would just select their answer. And then so on. So this is one of the social emotional slides that we put in there, just gave a quick stress check. You could probably give this at the beginning of the presentation if you wanted to, but I just kind of threw one in here to show you what it looks like. So all the student would have to do is just click and drag based on how they're feeling. So in this one is a text answer, so they can just start typing in what they learned in this particular class, because that's what the slide's asking to, but otherwise this is what a text box looks like. Here's the multiple choice answer that came up on this slide. All they would have to do is select the right choice. And then they're done. From the teacher side, you can always go back in here and click on Show Responses. So when I go ahead and click on Show Responses, you'll see how many people chose each response. So as I'm clicking through each slide, I just want to keep on clicking on Show Responses, and it will show live what all of the responses were. So you kind of keep going through that through all the rest of the slides. You can always come down here too, click on these three dots, and you can open your dashboard in a new window. When you do that, you're looking at the presentation again. This way you can kind of see an overall view of what the presentation looked like, what the responses were, how many students responded, and what the responses were for each student. So if I go to click on this one and I hover over my response, you can see who the student was that responded. So this is kind of a good way to kind of check in to see if your students are on task, if they're falling behind at all. You can see who's participated in this and still who hasn't. Then you can also do it as a grid layout, whereas you'll see every student who responded. You should just be able to click on their names and see what their responses were. So then when your session is ended, you've gone through your presentation, all the students have answered everything you wanted them to, you would just click on end. It says your session is currently still student paced. Are you sure you want to end your session? Once you know everybody has done all the work and turned it in, you can just say, yes, I'm sure. If not, you can say leave and allow students to keep working. That way, if you did have a couple of students that were falling behind, you would still give them the option to finish up their slides. So that's a very quick overview about how to use Pear Deck, how to make your presentations interactive and bring a little life to